Welcome to The Last Goodbye, where John shares heartfelt tributes to extraordinary lives that left a lasting mark on the world. This channel is dedicated to remembering beloved figures from film, music, television, and culture, honoring their journeys, their achievements, and the legacy they leave behind. Through every story, their memory continues to live on with dignity and meaning. The jazz world has lost one of its most expressive and cherished voices with the passing of Ken Peplowski at the age of 66. Born in 1959, Peplowski built a remarkable career defined by warmth, lyricism, and an unmistakable sound that resonated deeply with audiences around the world. For decades, he stood as a towering figure in American jazz, admired not only for his technical brilliance on clarinet and saxophone, but also for the heart he brought to every performance. His connection to the music felt personal. Every note carried intention, every phrase told a story. Peplowski was especially beloved within Oregon's jazz community, where his influence went far beyond the stage. As music director of the Oregon Coast Jazz Party in Newport from 2007 to 2014, he helped shape the event into a respected and vibrant celebration of jazz. He also left a lasting artistic imprint as music director of the Oregon Festival of American Music in Eugene, championing a wide spectrum of American sounds with passion and integrity. Those who knew him remember more than just his musicianship. Friends and colleagues often spoke of his curiosity, kindness, and easygoing nature. Conversations with him could move effortlessly from jazz standards to the music of the Beatles or Bob Dylan, reflecting a mind that was always open and engaged. Above all, Peplowski was a collaborator and mentor, someone who uplifted others and found joy in shared creativity. His presence brought people together, both on and off the stage. Though he is gone, his music remains, a lasting echo of his spirit, generosity, and love for the art form he dedicated his life to. Raul Malo had a voice you could recognize within seconds, rich, warm, and full of character. Born on February 7, 1965, he grew into an artist who never quite fit into just one box, and that's exactly what made his music so memorable. As the frontman of the Mavericks, he helped create a sound that blended country roots with rock energy and Latin soul, something that felt both classic and completely fresh at the same time. What set Malo apart wasn't just his vocal range, but the emotion behind it. Whether he was delivering a heartfelt ballad or an upbeat, rhythm-driven track, there was always a sense of sincerity in his performance. He didn't just sing songs, he told stories, drawing listeners in with every note. Over the years, the Mavericks built a loyal following, not just because of their unique style, but because they stayed true to it. Beyond the stage, Malo was known for his deep appreciation of music in all its forms. His influences were wide-ranging, and you could hear that diversity in everything he created. He wasn't afraid to take risks or step outside traditional genre lines, which helped shape a sound that continues to stand out in the industry. Raul Malo passed away at the age of 60. His legacy, however, lives on through the music he gave to the world. For fans, his voice remains timeless, a reminder of an artist who followed his instincts and created something truly his own. Renee Victor, born on July 25, 1938, was a vibrant and deeply respected presence in film and television, known for bringing warmth, strength, and authenticity to every role she touched. Over the years, she built a career that reflected both her versatility and her unmistakable spirit, leaving a lasting impression on audiences across generations. Many viewers fondly remember her as Lupita in the hit series Weeds, where her performance added heart and humor to the story's dynamic world. She also reached an entirely new global audience by lending her voice to Abuelita in Coco, a role that resonated deeply with viewers and celebrated family, culture, and tradition in a truly meaningful way. Beyond these standout roles, Victor's film work included appearances in Paranoid Park and A Night in Old Mexico, where she continued to showcase her ability to bring depth and sincerity to every character. Whether on screen or behind the microphone, she carried a natural charisma that made her performances feel genuine and memorable. Before acting, she also had a background in dance, which contributed to her expressive presence and command as a performer. Her journey through the arts was one marked by passion, dedication, and a deep love for storytelling. Renee Victor lived a full and creative life, passing at the age of 86. Her legacy is not only defined by the roles she played, but by the joy, representation, and authenticity she shared with the world. She remains a cherished figure whose work continues to inspire and connect with audiences everywhere. Sandra Lee, the award-winning Broadway performer whose career spanned nearly 9 decades, has passed away at the age of 97, leaving behind a legacy woven deeply into the fabric of American theater. Born in New Jersey, Lee's journey began with a passion for ballet. Though small in stature, her presence on stage was anything but. Dance became her first language, guiding her toward Broadway, where she would eventually make her mark in unforgettable ways. She first captivated audiences as Tiger Lily in Peter Pan, a performance that reached millions of viewers and introduced her talent to households across the country. Her Broadway career continued to flourish when she originated the role of Minnie Fay in Hello, Dolly, sharing the stage with some of the era's most celebrated performers. It was a role that cemented her place in musical theater history and showcased her unique blend of charm, precision, and warmth. But Lee's artistry extended far beyond acting. Over the course of her life, she embraced many creative roles: teacher, author, director, playwright, and even painter, touching countless lives both on and off the stage. Her dedication to the arts was not just about performance, but about mentorship and storytelling in all its forms. Her final public appearance in 2025 at Carnegie Hall felt like a fitting tribute, as she received a standing ovation from an audience that understood the magnitude of her contributions. Sandra Lee's life was one of passion, resilience, and quiet brilliance. For generations of performers and audiences alike, she remains a symbol of dedication to craft and love for the stage. In 1967, a young woman stepped off a Greyhound bus in Nashville with nothing but $20 and dreams bigger than the mountains she left behind. She carried songs no one wanted to hear and a voice that many laughed at, dismissing her high-pitched tone as unsuitable for country music. They mocked her hair, her clothes, and her accent, telling her she would never make it. Yet this young woman, Dolly Parton, would go on to become one of the most iconic figures in American history, building an empire worth over $650 million, writing thousands of songs and inspiring generations. Her story is one of resilience, determination, and the refusal to be defined by the limits others impose. Childhood and poverty, lessons of hunger and hardship. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in a small one-room cabin in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, deep in the Great Smoky Mountains. She was the fourth of 12 children, and her family's poverty was more than an economic condition. It was a force that shaped every moment of her early life. Her father, Robert Lee Parton, worked as a sharecropper and construction worker, unable to read or write, struggling to feed his family. Her mother, A.V. Lee, sang constantly to her children, using music to fill the void left by empty stomachs. With no electricity, no running water, and harsh winters that froze their cabin, Dolly's early years were marked by deprivation and struggle, yet they laid the foundation for a spirit of resilience that would define her life: humiliation and determination. Facing early challenges. Growing up in extreme poverty brought Dolly not just hunger, but humiliation. At school, she was the girl in patched clothes, shoes with holes, and a voice that marked her as different. Classmates mocked her relentlessly, calling her names and excluding her from their social circles. Even teachers, often overwhelmed and indifferent, offered little comfort. Dolly learned early that she would have to rely on herself, and this awareness ignited a determination to escape her circumstances. Music became her refuge, a place where her value was recognized and her voice could be heard. The sting of shame and the drive to rise above it would become the twin forces guiding her journey toward Nashville and beyond. Music as salvation, early creativity and talent. From a young age, Dolly Parton turned to music as her refuge. Her mother sang Appalachian ballads while cooking, and her grandfather, a Pentecostal preacher, filled their small church with gospel hymns. By 7, Dolly was writing her own songs, scraping lyrics onto scraps of paper. At 10, she performed on local radio stations in Knoxville, her voice carrying more power and emotion than most adults could summon. By 13, she made her Grand Ole Opry debut, standing on that iconic stage in a homemade dress, trembling yet determined. Music wasn't just entertainment, it was her currency, her survival mechanism, and the key to escaping poverty. Every note she sang was a declaration that she would not be confined by her circumstances. Leaving home, the Greyhound to Nashville. The day after high school graduation in 1964, 18-year-old Dolly Parton packed her belongings into a cardboard suitcase, hugged her mother goodbye, and boarded a Greyhound bus to Nashville. With only $20, a guitar, and an unwavering belief in her talent, she entered a city teeming with dreamers, most of whom would leave broken and defeated. Dolly's childhood hardships had forged her resilience. She knew rejection and hunger intimately. The journey to Nashville was both literal and symbolic. Leaving the mountains meant leaving comfort and family, yet it also meant stepping into a world where she could finally make her voice heard. Her courage and ambition set the stage for a lifetime of achievements. The struggle in Music City, Nashville was a city of dreams, but it was also unforgiving. Dolly moved into a cramped, roach-infested apartment with barely enough room to turn around. Meals were scarce, often consisting of stolen packets of ketchup or cheap crackers. The doors of opportunity did not merely close, they slammed in her face. Executives dismissed her as too country or too different. They mocked her accent, her looks, and her enthusiasm. Every rejection threatened to crush her spirit, but Dolly refused to give up. Her determination, combined with a unique voice and unmatched songwriting ability, would eventually turn the tide. What others perceived as flaws became the elements that made her unforgettable, setting her apart in an industry obsessed with conformity. Building her career, talent meets opportunity. Despite relentless rejection, Dolly's persistence eventually found its reward. She leveraged her talent as a songwriter and performer, penning songs that spoke to universal emotions: love, heartbreak, resilience, and hope. Her early recordings revealed not just vocal ability, but a remarkable gift for storytelling. With every performance and song, she carved out her identity in a competitive industry. Nashville may have seemed impenetrable at first, but Dolly's combination of raw talent, relentless work ethic, and unshakable optimism transformed her into a force the city could not ignore. She proved that authenticity and determination could outshine conformity, and that her story and her music was worth listening to. Facing personal sacrifices, success came with costs. Dolly's marriage to Carl Dean, though deeply loving, required long periods apart as she toured and recorded. She spent countless nights on buses, in hotel rooms, and on stages, away from the family and the home she cherished. Fame, wealth, and recognition could not erase the sacrifices made to achieve them. Yet Dolly remained steadfast, grounded in her values, and committed to her personal life despite the demands of stardom. Her ability to balance her career with her private life became a testament to her character. The resilience that had carried her through poverty now helped her navigate the challenges of fame while preserving the relationships that mattered most. Transforming pain into purpose. Dolly's life has been defined not only by achievement, but by compassion. Having experienced deprivation, shame, and loss, she understood the importance of giving back. Her philanthropy, from literacy initiatives to disaster relief, demonstrates a deep commitment to turning personal pain into public purpose. She used her wealth and influence not for ostentation, but for meaningful change, ensuring that others would not face the same hardships she endured. Through music, business, and charitable work, Dolly exemplifies how personal struggle can become a force for collective good. Her story reminds us that the truest measure of success is not in what we acquire, but in what we give to lift others. Resilience beyond fame. Dolly Parton's journey is a testament to human resilience. Poverty, rejection, and humiliation could not extinguish her spirit. Instead, they became fuel for her ambition. Even as her empire grew, the scars of her early life remained, guiding her decisions and her approach to others. Her humility, warmth, and enduring kindness stand in stark contrast to the excesses often associated with fame. Dolly's career shows that resilience is not simply about enduring hardship. It is about transforming it into something beautiful. By remaining true to her values, her roots, and her compassion, she turned personal adversity into a legacy that extends far beyond music. Legacy of compassion and humanity. At 78, Dolly Parton continues to write, perform, and give. She lives close to her birthplace in Tennessee, still inspired by the mountains that shaped her. Her commitment to kindness, generosity, and service defines her legacy more than her millions or awards. From Dollywood to the Imagination Library, she touches lives in tangible ways. Her story is a reminder that true impact comes from helping others, not from accolades. Even in her later years, she embodies the principle that the greatest legacy is measured in compassion. Dolly Parton's life demonstrates that enduring influence arises from the combination of talent, resilience, and a commitment to uplifting those around you. Lessons from a life well lived. Dolly Parton's life teaches that obstacles do not define us. Our responses do. Poverty, loss, and rejection were not the end of her story. They were the catalysts for her transformation. Her unwavering belief in herself, combined with her dedication to others, illustrates the power of resilience, compassion, and hard work. She turned her challenges into opportunity, her pain into art, and her success into service. Dolly's journey encourages us to embrace our struggles, cultivate our talents, and use our achievements for the benefit of others. In doing so, we honor not only our own potential, but also the legacies of those like Dolly who inspire us to rise above. Conclusion: the enduring power of Dolly's story. Dolly Parton's life is a testament to the human spirit. From a barefoot girl in a one-room cabin to a global icon, she overcame poverty, ridicule, and countless setbacks to create a legacy of music, compassion, and resilience. She demonstrates that true success is measured not by wealth or fame, but by the positive impact we have on others. Her story is a blueprint for transforming adversity into purpose, showing that kindness, perseverance, and courage can leave a mark far greater than material achievements. Dolly Parton's journey reminds us all that no matter where we begin, our choices, generosity, and resilience define the legacy we leave behind.